Two brothers. One car. 5 days after the wedding of a lifetime. That's all it took to break the world's heart. Diogo Jota is dead. So is his brother André. Gone at 25 and 23. Gone on a Tuesday morning that started like any other. The wedding photos are still warm on their phones. Diogo in his white suit, arm around his new wife Ruth. André laughing in the background. Pure joy frozen in time. 5 days. That's how long happiness lasted. The crash happens fast. Highway A1, kilometer 47. A truck, a BMW, and a split second that changes everything. The kind of accident that makes you believe the universe is cruel. By 8 a.m., the news spreads like wildfire. Football fans wake up to their worst nightmare. Their hero is gone. Just like that. Cristiano Ronaldo cries. Jurgen Klopp can't speak. Liverpool players break down in the locker room. Grown men reduced to tears because a young man who made them believe in magic is never coming home. This isn't about fame or fortune. This is about a boy from Portugal who kicked a ball against old walls and dreamed of something bigger. A boy who grew up to make millions of people happy every weekend. A boy who danced with his wife on Saturday and died on Tuesday. The world stops grieving. Not for a celebrity. For a son. A brother. A husband. A father. For someone who should have had 50 more years to live. This is that story. Raw, heartbreaking, and real. This is how dreams die in an instant.
Diogo Jota and his brother André Silva, about 12:30
Diogo
last night.
Jota grew up in Massarelos, Portugal. Not in luxury, not in fame. Just a quiet boy in a quiet town, chasing footballs down dusty streets with a heart full of dreams. He didn't talk much, but his feet always spoke. He wasn't loud in school or bold with strangers, but when a ball rolled his way, he lit up. He didn't just play, he connected with it, like it was a part of him. At Gondomar, they saw the spark. At Pacos de Ferreira, it grew. Coaches didn't have to shout instructions. He already understood what to do. It was natural. It was calm. It was him. By the time he moved to England to play for Wolverhampton, he had learned how to carry himself without noise. No drama, no spotlight chasing, just football and family. He played like every match mattered, and for him, it did. When Liverpool signed him, the world took notice. He scored goals that changed games. He created moments fans would never forget. But behind every goal celebration was the same boy from Massarelos. Soft-spoken, grounded, kind. He never let fame distract him. Never forgot where he came from. On and off the pitch, he stayed the same, gentle, respectful, and real. For Portugal, he gave everything. Wearing that jersey was never just a duty. It was pride. It was home. People loved him for more than football. They loved him because he was real. No show. No scandal. Just a man who worked hard, loved quietly, and played with his heart. That's who Diogo Jota was.
In my opinion, I obviously missed some games of the season, but I think the way the game went was...
Away from the stadium lights, Diogo Jota's world was even more beautiful. He loved football, yes, but he loved his family more. He met Ruth Cardoso when they were still young. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, steady, and real. She wasn't just his partner. She was his best friend. They grew together through every transfer, every win, every hard day. Wherever football took him, she was there, cheering, holding the home together, giving him peace. They built a life that didn't need headlines. Their love was gentle. Their bond was firm. And from that love came their 3 children, his biggest joy. Off the pitch, he was just Dad. The kind that plays on the floor, holds tiny hands, and rocks sleepy heads after midnight. Fame never changed him. He didn't care for nightclubs or the fast life. While others chased attention, Jota kept close to his circle: quiet dinners, family holidays, video games with friends. No scandals. No drama. Just a man who knew what mattered. As the wedding day came close, the world caught little glimpses, smiling photos, simple moments shared online. It wasn't about impressing anyone. It was about celebrating something real. He had everything he wanted: the woman he loved, the children he adored, and a life that felt full. To younger players, he was more than a footballer. He was proof that you could be great and still be good. That you didn't need to shout to be seen. That loyalty, hard work, and kindness could still shine in a world chasing noise. Diogo Jota lived a life many dreamt of, not just for the goals he scored, but for the love he carried quietly, every single day.
Human that today I was listening on the radio in England, that even Everton fans are paying tribute. It's like Merseyside.
June 22nd, 2025, was a perfect day. The sun was soft. The air felt light. And Diogo Jota stood at the altar, waiting for the woman he had loved for years. Ruth walked toward him slowly, eyes locked on his, both of them smiling like they'd never smiled before. It wasn't just a wedding, it was a full-circle moment. From childhood sweethearts to partners through everything, they had finally arrived at forever. Family gathered close. Friends flew in from across Europe. Teammates put away jerseys and wore suits. People who had seen Jota win on the field now watched him win in love. There were no cameras in their faces, no distractions, just people who truly cared. There was laughter. So much of it. The children ran barefoot through the grass. Glasses clinked gently in celebration. Ruth gave a small speech. Her voice shook, but her words were steady. She spoke of his quiet strength, his loyalty, how he always came home with the same look in his eyes, no matter the match result. He smiled the whole time, eyes glassy, heart full. When it was time for vows, he didn't try to be poetic. He just spoke his truth. How she made him better. How their children gave him purpose. How no goal, no trophy, could ever feel like this. After the ceremony, they danced like no one was watching. They held each other close, faces pressed together, laughing between whispers. Friends said they had never seen him this happy, not after a win, not after a championship. This was different. This was deeper. He didn't post much about it. Just a few quiet photos. A kiss on the forehead. A hand over hers. The caption was simple: forever. No one knew then that forever would be so short. But that day, he had everything. And he glowed in it. It was the night of July 3, 2025. Just 11 days after the wedding. The world was quiet. Jota and his younger brother, André, were driving along the A52 motorway near Zamora, Spain. The road was open. The sky was dark. No one expected what was about to happen. They were in a Lamborghini. Fast. Smooth. The kind of car made for celebration. But something went wrong. A tire, they believe, gave out. Just like that. No warning. The car swerved hard, lost control, and slammed off the road. Then came fire. Flames swallowed the car before anyone could reach them. By the time emergency teams arrived, it was too late. The bodies were found inside. Diogo Jota, gone. André, gone too. Two brothers who had shared everything from football dreams to childhood secrets, now silenced in the same breath. Word didn't come out right away. There was confusion. People online didn't believe it. Some called it fake news. Others begged for updates. But then the truth was confirmed. Official statements. Cold facts. Two names. One heartbreak. Fans froze. Reporters hesitated. Families collapsed. His wedding photos were still pinned to profiles. His last goal replayed on television just hours before. In one moment, the world lost more than a footballer. A family lost a father. A wife lost her husband. A little child, maybe still asking, "Where's Daddy?" And a younger brother, full of life, full of future, was gone without a goodbye. That night changed everything. And it happened so fast, so violently, it didn't feel real. But it was. Most people only knew him as Jota's brother. But André Silva was more than that. He had his own story, his own dreams, his own place in the world. He played for Penafiel, quietly working his way through Portugal's football system. No headlines, no spotlight. Just pure effort. Like his brother, he had that same steady heart. Humble, focused, always trying to be better than he was yesterday. But what made André special wasn't just football. It was the way he loved. The way he stood beside Jota, not in his shadow, but right next to him. He didn't chase fame. He supported it. He was the kind of brother who celebrated the wins but showed up even stronger during the losses. Their bond ran deep. More than teammates. More than family. They trained together, traveled together, laughed in the same language only brothers understand. André helped manage details behind the scenes. Organized. Advised. Protected. He didn't need the world to notice him. His joy came from watching Jota fly and knowing he had helped lift the wings. But André had dreams too. Coaching. Starting a football academy. Giving back to young boys who came from the same streets they once did. He was just getting started. And then, like that, it ended. He died beside the person he loved most in the world. And maybe, in some quiet way, that's how he would have wanted it, not alone, but with his brother. Always together. André wasn't just Jota's brother. He was a good man. A dreamer. A quiet pillar behind a rising star. And now, his story is part of the one the world will never forget. The world of football stood still. Liverpool was the first to speak. Their words were few, but heavy, unimaginable loss. No big statements. No fancy tribute. Just the truth, raw and honest. Cristiano Ronaldo heard the news and froze. Hours later, he posted only one line, "It doesn't make any sense." And truly, it didn't. How could a man so full of life be gone in the blink of an eye? Jürgen Klopp couldn't hide his pain. His voice cracked. His eyes welled up as he spoke to reporters. This wasn't about a player. This was about someone he saw every day, someone who brought joy, laughter, and quiet strength into their dressing room. In Portugal, the Football Federation called for a minute of silence. At every stadium. Every match. Even those who had never met Jota lowered their heads. Some whispered prayers. Others just stood in silence, hearts too full to speak. Outside Anfield, the ground Jota once lit up with his goals, fans gathered with scarves, flowers, and photos. Children wore his jersey. Grown men wept openly. People who had never met him stood side by side, connected by grief. Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester City, Barcelona. The biggest clubs in the world paused their own stories to honor his. They changed their banners, posted tributes, and sent love. The game that often divides came together, for him. No trophies were lifted that day. No chance of victory. Just quiet. Just unity. Just love for a man who gave so much to the game, and asked for nothing but the chance to play. In those moments, the world remembered that beneath the fame and glory, Diogo Jota was just a man, a good one. And now, he was gone. Even in silence, Diogo Jota's name still remains. To Liverpool, he wasn't just a forward, he was a precious heart. He played with fire but carried himself with calmness. He turned tight games into victories. But it wasn't only about goals. It was about how he carried the jersey, the team, the fans. To Portugal, he was a son of the soil. A player who wore the national colors with pride, never once forgetting where he came from. He stood shoulder to shoulder with legends, but never acted like one. He just played, with everything in him. To young players, he was proof that humility still had a place in greatness. That you didn't need to shout to be seen. That family, discipline, and quiet focus could take you far. And that even in the spotlight, you could stay kind. Off the pitch, that was who Jota truly was. A present father. A gentle husband. A loyal friend. The kind of man who sent birthday messages before being reminded. The one who still replied to old teammates. The one who chose home over parties. His childhood friends said he never changed. That he still came home, still called, still remembered where he started. He was a star, yes, but never too big to come back. There are whispers now. That UEFA may name an award in his honor. One that celebrates not just performance, but character. Something to remind future players that who you are matters just as much as how you play. In the end, Diogo Jota will be remembered not only for his goals, but for the way he lived. Quietly. Kindly. Fully. He left too soon, but he left full. Full of love. Full of purpose. Full of everything that made him unforgettable. Rest in perfect peace.